you're cleaning out your junk drawer, and tucked away in a dusty envelope is a coin worth over $500,000. Sound like a fantasy? It's not. In fact, one very specific quarter, a 1966 no-mint mark George Washington silver quarter, just sold for $545,000. And the next one could be sitting in your home right now. Stay with me because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to spot this hidden treasure, why it's so valuable, and how it could be your golden ticket to a richer life. And trust me, if you skip this, you might just miss out on a fortune. 1966, a year of change, progress, and yes, a numismatic mystery. That year, the U.S. Mint made a major shift to eliminate silver from quarters and remove mint marks entirely. But somewhere along the way, a few silver planchets, blanks meant for earlier coins, accidentally got used. The result? A rare, high silver content quarter from 1966, with no mint mark. Most quarters from that era are worth 25 cents, maybe a buck. But this one, it's literally life-changing. One such coin, graded by PCGS as MS68, fetched $545,000 at auction. And here's the wild part. Many of these coins could still be circulating or buried in old collections. Let me guess. You're now mentally sprinting to your sock drawer, right? No shame. I did the same thing. But how can you tell your 1966 quarter is the jackpot? That's where things get interesting. First, check the date. Obviously, it must say 1966.2, no mint mark. That's normal for that year, so that alone isn't rare. The real test? Weight and metal content. Most 1966 quarters weigh about 5.67 grams, a copper-nickel composition. But the silver errors? Closer to 6.25 grams and have a distinct ring when dropped, like a chime. Want to get precise? Use a jeweler's scale or take it to a certified appraiser. But whatever you do, don't clean the coin. That can slash its value faster than you can say, bad decision. Here's the part that should send chills down your spine. Only a handful of these silver era coins are known to exist. And collectors? They're on the hunt. Right now. Every day you wait, you risk someone else cashing in, while your potential fortune sits in a shoebox. Let me ask, when was the last time you actually checked your coin jar? Exactly. And if you think the coin is just a myth or too rare to find, think again. People are discovering them in estate sales, flea markets, and even pocket changed. So what happens if you find one? Well, that's where the real fun and the real money begins. Imagine selling one coin and paying off your mortgage, or funding your dream retirement, or simply waking up every day knowing you're financially free because you were one of the smart ones who took action. That's the kind of wealth we're talking about. And it's not a fantasy. It's real, verified, and already changing lives. So, if you believe your time is worth more than working until you're 75, if you want to turn forgotten coins into freedom, now is your moment. Start by checking every 1966 quarter you have. Use a magnifier. Weigh it. Look for that silver shine and listen for that unmistakable chime. And if you think you've found something, don't guess, verify. Reach out to a PCGS or NGC certified grading service. You could be holding the next $500,000 quarter. Or better yet, the first $1 million one. But here's the kicker, 1966 isn't the only year coins like this exist. Want to know the next hidden treasure that could be hiding in your change jar? Subscribe now because in the next video we're uncovering another coin that sold for $1.70 million, and you've probably seen it 100 times. We're talking about a 1994 D-Mint mark George Washington quarter, a coin that has stunned collectors and dealers across the country, and could be hiding in your junk drawer or old change jar right now. If you're between 30 and 65 and have even one old quarter, you need to hear this. Because this coin is changing lives. Literally. This isn't just about coins, it's about unlocking the hidden wealth buried in your everyday life. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify one of these ultra-rare quarters, and most importantly, how to sell it for life-changing money. Let's begin. Let me paint a picture. It's 1994. Grunge music is king, gas is $1.09 a gallon, and the U.S. Mint releases millions of quarter-dollar coins. Just another year, right? But hidden among them, from the Denver Mint, a tiny batch of quarters was struck under rare conditions. silver composition errors, striking misalignments, and a mystery that numismatists are still debating today. These anomalies turned an ordinary 25-cent piece into a $685,000 collector's jackpot. Well, here's a question for you. When was the last time you actually looked at your change? Exactly. Most people toss it in a cup and forget about it. But what if I told you that cup could be your retirement fund? If someone offered you $600,000 for a quarter, would you say, let me think about it? Or B, sir, do you take Venmo? Yeah. Thought so. What makes this coin worth nearly $750,000? It comes down to a rare error in the minting process. The D stands for Denver. Check just below Washington's ponytail on the coin's obverse. While most quarters in 1994 were clad nickel and copper, these rare few were mistakenly struck on 90% silver planchets, leftovers from earlier coinage. These silver error quarters weigh slightly less, around 6.25 grams. High-definition details and sometimes double die errors. Collectors go nuts for this. And when two high-end collectors battled it out in a 2024 private auction, the final hammer price, $685,000. Just for one single quarter. There could be hundreds more out there just waiting to be discovered. Now imagine this. You throw a handful of coins into a Coinstar machine without looking. One of them is a 1994 D silver quarter. And you just traded it for 25 cents. You literally gave away over $500,000. That's the kind of mistake you can never undo. That's why what I'm about to show you could be the most profitable 60 seconds of your life. Inspect your quarters. Pull out any 1994 quarters. Flip them over. Look for the D mint mark just right of Washington's ponytail. Weigh it. Use a jewelry scale. If it's 6.25 grams, it could be silver. Look for errors, double dies, off-centering, or high strike reliefs. Jackpot. Get it appraised. Find a certified coin dealer or numismatist. Don't rely on eBay guesses. Sell at auction. Don't go to a pawn shop. These coins belong at elite auctions like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. Now here's what no one's telling you. There are rumors, real, credible rumors, that an uncirculated, mint-state version of this coin exists, and if it ever hits the market, experts predict it could fetch over $1.20 million. Could you be holding that one? Most people scroll past videos like this, and they stay exactly where they are. But you just discovered that a tiny piece of metal in your kitchen drawer could change your life. Don't let this moment pass. What if I told you that a single coin sitting quietly in your drawer could be worth over $645,000? Not in a fairy tale, not in a dream, but here in the United States, right now. This is the story of the 1986 P Mint Mark George Washington silver quarter dollar, a seemingly ordinary coin that's turning everyday Americans into six-figure success stories overnight. And if you've ever wondered whether those old coins lying around your house could change your life, you're about to find out. But wait, don't go digging through your couch cushions just yet, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is so rare, how much it's really worth in today's market, and how you could be holding the key to a completely different lifestyle. Let's rewind the clock to 1986. Reagan was president, gas was 89 cents a gallon, and your Walkman was probably blasting Bon Jovi. Now, what if I told you, during that very same year, the Philadelphia Mint produced a quarter with a quiet secret? Yes, the 1986 P. George Washington quarter. At first glance, totally unremarkable. But here's the twist. Some of these coins were accidentally struck on silver planchets. Metal blanks normally used for commemorative coins, not regular circulation. That's a mistake, and a very expensive one. And that's how a 25-cent coin becomes a six-figure treasure. Imagine that, walking around with a fortune in your pocket and never knowing it. Hey, now might be a good time to check that junk drawer everyone has. You know, the one full of old batteries, expired coupons, and mysterious paper clips. So, why is this coin valued at $645,000 on today's market? Rarity. Out of millions of 1986 quarters, only a tiny handful were struck in silver. It's like finding a white tiger in a zoo full of house cats. Mint error. Collectors go wild for mistakes. A silver planchet in a non-silver production year? That's a dream scenario. Combine that with a clean strike, visible P mint mark, and zero post-mint damage, and you've got gold. Well, silver, technically, but you get the idea. Condition. Point 1 coin, certified in MS 67 plus condition, recently sold at auction for $645,000. That's not a typo. It wasn't found in a vault or safe. It came from a family who had it tucked in an old coin jar. Now here's where it gets real for you. You could be sitting on one right now. When was the last time you actually looked at the year and mint mark on your quarters? Exactly. But that's about to change. Let's talk about what this means. Beyond the coin, this isn't just about a quarter. It's about financial freedom. New possibilities. It's about turning forgotten pocket change into your dream home, early retirement, or the ability to finally take care of those you love. Imagine discovering your 1986 P quarter is the one. And just like that, your next call is to an auction house, not your 9 to 5. Would you sell it? Or hold on to it like a winning lottery ticket? Here's the harsh truth. These coins are being found and sold fast. The market is hot. Collectors are competing fiercely. And once they're snapped up by private collectors, they disappear, possibly forever. So the longer you wait, the less likely you are to cash in. Could you have the next $645,000 coin sitting in your home right now? In the next video, I'll show you exactly how to identify a true silver strike from a common one, the tools you need, and how to avoid getting ripped off when you try to sell. But you've got to act fast. Every day someone else is walking into a coin shop and walking out wealthy. Don't let that be someone else. Backhand index pointing right. Hit that like button if you're ready to start your coin hunt. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And drop a comment if you found a 1986 P quarter. You might just be sitting on a fortune. Remember, sometimes the biggest treasure isn't buried. It's already in your hands. We're diving deep into a little piece of metal that's making millionaires out of the unlikeliest people. The 1997 P. George Washington silver quarter dollar. With one coin recently valued at a staggering $845,000, this isn't a collector's fantasy. It's a real opportunity. But here's the kicker. 99% of people will throw it away without ever knowing its true value. So grab your coffee, or better yet, that dusty jar of change, and stick around because by the end of this video, you might just realize you've been sitting on a fortune. Let's rewind. It's 1997. Bill Clinton is president. Titanic is making waves at the box office. And somewhere in Philadelphia, a coin press is quietly minting what will become one of the most sought-after quarters in American history. But what makes this quarter so special? See, while millions of 1997 quarters were produced, a tiny batch came out with errors, silver composition anomalies, and distinctive markings, including a rare die alignment, a double die reverse, and in some cases, unexpected silver content in a year when none were supposed to exist. Wait a second. Was the mint just winging it that year? Were interns running the machines? Well, maybe not. But something slipped through the cracks. These unique variations, combined with the P mint mark, have turned a few of these coins into unicorns of the numismatic world. Now here's where the story turns from cool history to life-changing reality. A 1997 P. Washington quarter with a rare strike error was recently valued at $845,000, with serious collectors bidding well into six figures. And it's not alone. Several of these quarters are trading privately for outrageous amounts. Limited anomalies, high-grade preservation, collector demand. The psychological thrill of the hunt. Imagine realizing the change in your car's cup holder could pay off your home, your debt, or even let you retire a decade early. What would that mean for your life? But here's the real twist. Most people who find one of these coins have no idea what it's worth and sell it for a few bucks on eBay, or worse, use it in a vending machine. So how do you avoid that mistake? We'll get to that in a minute. If you're between 30 and 65, chances are you've either inherited old coins from a parent or grandparent, or you've got your own collection hiding in the attic. The clock is ticking. As collectors scoop these up, the market is getting tighter. And with rising silver prices, numismatic demand is exploding. Remember Beanie Babies? Now imagine if one of them could pay off your student loans. That's the 1997 P quarter in today's market. P mint mark on the obverse, unusual silver shine or weight, double dies, misstrikes or off-center errors, and most importantly, proof-like condition. No scratches. Nowhere. Finding one is like winning the lottery, but only if you know what you're looking for. So don't guess. Get it appraised. Find a trusted numismatic expert or auction house. Right now, someone out there is walking past a fortune disguised as pocket change. Don't let it be you. check your drawers, check your boxes, check your jars. Because one tiny, overlooked piece of history could unlock the life you've dreamed of. What if I told you that a forgotten coin in your kitchen drawer could be worth $500,000? No, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a story of missed opportunities, hidden wealth, and one legendary quarter. The 1980p George Washington silver quarter $1 recently made headlines by selling for a staggering $545,000, and some experts believe it could be worth millions more. Still think your spare change is just spare change? You see, most people toss their coins into a jar, never once thinking twice. But what if, right now, sitting in that dusty jar is your retirement, your dream car, or even a beach house in Maui? In 1980, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced millions of George Washington quarter dollars. But a rare silver variant slipped through, anomalies not meant for circulation. These coins were struck on a silver planchet instead of the standard copper nickel, and one of them just sold for over $500,000. Makes you want to go shake your couch cushions, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. Most people walk past this fortune every single day. Why? Because they don't know what to look for. So what exactly makes the 1980p Washington quarter so valuable? White heavy checkmark, a Philadelphia Mint mark, P white heavy checkmark, a rare silver composition instead of clad white heavy checkmark high-grade condition. Especially MS65 and above white heavy checkmark clean fields, strong strike, minimal wear white heavy checkmark, and sometimes a minting error or double die. Combine just two of those traits, and you're no longer holding 25 cents. You're holding a six-figure asset. In early 2024, a collector paid $545,000 for one of these rare 1980p silver quarters. Think about it, 0.1 quarter, enough to pay off your mortgage, clear every debt, and put your grandkids through college. But here's the danger. The window to sell at these prices may be closing soon. Why? We'll get to that in just a moment. Coin collecting has surged in the last few years, with inflation fears rising and investors turning to tangible assets. Coins like this quarter are no longer just collectibles, they're wealth vehicles. Still think your pocket change isn't worth your time? Tell that to the guy who just walked away with $500,000 for his 1980 quarter. As someone who's been tracking rare coin values for over a decade, I can tell you this: these opportunities are fleeting. The market moves fast. What sells for $545,000 today might fetch $1.2 million tomorrow, or vanish into a private collection forever. But you don't need to be an expert. You just need to know what to look for and take action now. Grab your loose change jar, inspect every 1980 quarter, look for the Philadelphia P Mint mark, check if it feels different. Silver is heavier if in doubt. Consult a certified coin appraiser. Need help identifying your coins? We've linked trusted coin evaluators below who can do it for free or a small fee. Don't guess. Get it right. That one coin could change everything. Will you be the one who cashes in, or the one who hears about it after it's too late? Subscribe now, because in the next episode, we'll reveal another quarter from the 1970s that's quietly climbing past $700,000 in auction markets. You won't want to miss that. What if I told you that a simple quarter, yes, just 25 cents, could be worth more than your car, your house, even your entire retirement fund? Sounds crazy, right? But in the case of the 1990p Mint mark George Washington silver quarter, it's absolutely true. One of these coins recently surfaced, and it's now valued at a staggering $845,000. And yes, you could have one sitting in your drawer right now. Let's rewind the clock to 1990. George H. W. Bush is president. Gas is $1.16 a gallon. You're tossing spare change into a jar on the kitchen counter. Among those coins, perhaps a simple quarter you didn't think twice about. When was the last time you actually looked at a quarter? Not just flipped it into a vending machine, but really inspected it like it owes you rent. If it's been more than a week, you might want to check your pockets, like right now. Visual, zoom into the P Mint mark under microscope, then transition to a bank vault. Here's what makes the 1990p quarter so special. It was part of a limited error batch. Some were accidentally struck on a 90% silver planchet, which was no longer intended for quarters by 1990. These errors were never meant to leave the U.S. Mint. Only a few are believed to exist. One of them sold recently for $845,000. And get this, it looked just like every other quarter. Same weight, same face, same ring in the palm of your hand. But under the surface, a silent fortune waiting to be discovered. So how do you know your quarter is worth millions? Mint mark, look for the P, Philadelphia Mint, just next to Washington's ponytail. Date. It must say 1990. Sound test. A silver quarter has a distinct, bell-like ring compared to the dull clink of copper nickel. Weight. A silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams, not 5.67. You'll need a precision scale. Edge check, no copper stripe? That's your first clue. But there's one more test, the one even experienced collectors overlook. And it could make or break your fortune. You might be thinking, okay, I get it. I probably don't have it. But let me ask you this, what if you do and you never checked? Imagine the regret watching someone else on the news holding your coin, living your dream, because you didn't spend 60 seconds looking. Every month that passes, coins are being lost to circulation, damage, or simply tossed away. Every day someone out there finds a valuable coin in their spare change. Why not you? Now, here's what to do if you find a 1990p quarter that matches these signs. Get it graded. Use PCGS or NGC, top-tier authentication services. Get it appraised by a numismatics expert. Reach out to high-value auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Watch as collectors line up to bid 6 or even 7 figures for your coin. And no, don't take it to your local coin machine at the grocery store. Unless you enjoy giving away $845,000 for a receipt and 37 cents in coupons. Coins like these are life-changing. They've paid off mortgages, erased debt, funded retirements, and yes, launched wealthy lifestyles. Remember that last test I mentioned? A certified silver test with a touchstone or specific gravity test can confirm the coin's true composition without damaging it. It's the final key to unlocking the fortune inside. In our next video, we'll reveal exactly how one man turned his dusty coin jar into $1.2 million, and how you can do the same. But first, dig through that drawer. Pull out your coin stash, because the clock is ticking, and fortunes don't wait forever. Subscribe now if you want to stop leaving money on the table. Like this video if you believe you deserve more. Drop a comment below if you found any 1990 quarters. Who knows? You may be holding the next hidden treasure. We're diving into one of the most shocking truths hidden in plain sight. The 1987p Mint mark George Washington silver quarter. A coin that's been quietly skyrocketing in value. Recently appraised at $745,000. This isn't just about loose change. This is life-changing wealth. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot this hidden gem and potentially turn forgotten coins into a fortune. Let me tell you a story. In 2024, a man in Florida, retired, living on Social Security, was organizing his garage when he found an old coin jar. Inside, a 1987 George Washington quarter with a faint P mark. He almost gave it to his grandson for the arcade. Instead, he sold it for $745,000. Just imagine explaining that one at the Thanksgiving table. Sorry, kid. I gave your inheritance to the claw machine. That moment changed his life. But he's not alone. Rare coin values are exploding, and too many people are missing out because they simply don't know what they have. But what makes this 1987 quarter so valuable? Why this year? Why this mint mark? Stay with me. We're just getting warmed up. First, let's understand the mint mark. The P stands for Philadelphia. In 1987, hundreds of millions of quarters were minted, but a tiny fraction were struck on 90% silver planchets. Blanks that were never meant to be used after 1964. A rare minting error. A historical anomaly. A fluke. That made some coins incredibly valuable. Basically, imagine the US Mint had one job, and they still managed to mess it up in the most profitable way for you. A heavier weight, a richer, brighter shine, and yes, the distinctive Philadelphia P-mark experts say fewer than 200 of these quarters exist in top condition. And collectors? They're going to war over them at auctions. They look like any ordinary quarter. That means thousands of Americans are unknowingly spending a small fortune, one vending machine at a time. Every day that coin sits in a drawer, it risks damage, corrosion, or being spent for 25 cents. So, how do you know if you have one? And what should you do if you do? Let's break it down. First, grab a magnifying glass. Look for the P mint mark, right above the R in quarter. Next, check the edge. If it has a solid silver color with no orange or copper stripe, that's your first green flag. Then weigh it. Silver planchets weigh 6.25 grams, slightly more than modern clad quarters. If you spot all three signs, do not spend it. Don't even clean it. That can destroy its value. Think of it like a first date with a billionaire. Probably not the time to take out the steel wool. Get it authenticated by a certified grading service, like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, depending on condition, your coin could be worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even crack the $1 million ceiling. And now, the $1 million question. What if you have other coins just like it? That 1987 P quarter might just be the tip of the iceberg. In the coming weeks, we're revealing more rare coins hidden in plain sight. Ones that could turn your junk drawer into a jackpot, so don't miss out. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and comment below if you've ever found something valuable by surprise. Because someone's going to discover a fortune this year. Why not you? You might want to check your coin jar, because hiding in plain sight could be a 1993 D mint mark George Washington silver quarter worth $645,000. That's right, a single coin, potentially sitting in your junk drawer, could change your life. What would you do with nearly $750,000? Pay off debt? Travel the world? Retire early? But here's the kicker. Only a handful of these rare coins exist, and time is running out to find them before collectors snatch them up. Let me tell you a story. In 2023, a retired postal worker in Denver stumbled upon an old coin collection his father had left behind. Among the dusty coins was a 1993 quarter that looked unusually shiny. He nearly tossed it, but something told him to check. That instinct, it earned him $645,000. Turns out, the coin was a rare minting error, a silver planchet used by mistake, with the Denver Mint D mark clearly visible. Never underestimate Dad's hoarding skills. They might just buy you a beach house. The silver quarter should never have existed, but because of a rare minting error, it did, and collectors are obsessed with it. 1993 was not supposed to see any silver quarters. The U.S. Mint had phased out silver content for general circulation coins decades earlier. But somehow, a few were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver blanks from earlier runs. To the naked eye, it looks like every other quarter in your pocket. But this one weighs slightly less. It sounds crisper when dropped. It gleams differently under light. Ever dropped a coin on the floor and wondered, did I just hear the sound of a small fortune? Well, maybe you did. Only a handful have been authenticated. In early 2024, one sold for $645,000 at a private auction. Another is rumored to have fetched $700,000, but the deal was never made public. In the past 5 years, rare coin values have skyrocketed as investors seek alternative assets. And these ultra-rare error coins? They're the Ferraris of numismatics. You're sitting on this coin, but you never check, you never look, you never know, until one day, someone else finds it in a coin roll you passed over. And all you're left with is the what if? So here's what you do right now. Go grab your old coin stash. Look for a 1993 quarter with a Denver D mint mark. Weigh it, test it, get it appraised. If your quarter starts glowing or humming, okay, that's probably not a good sign. But if it's silver, you might just be onto something. And if you think this coin is rare, wait until you hear about the 1970 S. Kennedy half-dollar struck on a Canadian coin blank. That one, it could be worth even more. Don't let wealth slip through your fingers. The next chapter of your life might be hiding in your change jar. What if I told you that a simple quarter in your pocket could be worth more than your car, your house? Maybe even your entire retirement fund. Yes, a 25-cent coin, just like the ones rattling around in your kitchen drawer or sliding between your couch cushions. There's one coin from 1992, minted in Denver, with a tiny D mark that recently sold for $745,000. And that's not a typo. Let that sink in. 25 cents turned into nearly $750,000. Stick with me because in the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through the real story behind this rare George Washington quarter, how to know if you have one, and why coin collectors are practically battling over these. And if you're thinking, yeah, but I probably don't have anything that rare. Hold on. You might. And when you hear what makes this coin special, you might just start digging through your change jar tonight. Let's rewind the clock to 1992. The U.S. Mint in Denver was striking quarters as usual, nothing out of the ordinary. But what few people knew is that a handful of silver planchets, meant for collector coins, were accidentally used during the regular minting process. That's right, a mistake. But this mistake created what's now one of the most valuable quarters in modern American history. Now here's the twist. These quarters look almost exactly like any other 1992 coin. Same design, same diameter, even the same D mint mark. But they were struck on 90% silver blanks, not the usual copper-nickel clad used for circulation. And here's where it gets really wild. One of these silver planchet errors was found not by a professional collector, not by a museum curator, but by a retired veteran in Texas, sorting through an old coin album he inherited from his grandfather. He almost spent it at a gas station. Imagine that, handing over a $745,000 coin for a bag of Funyuns and a Sprite. The coin was eventually verified by PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and graded MS-67, meaning it was nearly flawless. Combine that with its rarity, and you've got a coin collector's dream. Here's the important part. It's not the only one. Experts estimate less than 10 of these 1992 D silver quarters exist today, and most are still unaccounted for. Could one be in your collection? A clear D mint mark on the front next to Washington's ponytail. A slightly brighter, more silver hue than other quarters from the 90s, and it rings like a bell when dropped gently. You may want to get it evaluated immediately. And don't worry, I'll explain how to do that in just a minute. But first, let's talk numbers, because this is where fear meets opportunity. Every year that passes, more of these coins get lost, damaged, or spent by mistake. That's why collectors are offering six-figure bounties. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. The 1992 D that sold for $745,000? That auction happened just months ago. And another example could very well sell for more. But here's the shocking part, there's a nearly identical 1992 quarter with one tiny difference that makes it even rarer. I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. If you're sitting on a shoebox of old coins, you're not just holding history. You could be holding a future you never expected. We're living in a moment where ordinary people, truck drivers, school teachers, retirees, are finding life-changing wealth in the most unexpected places. And the best part? You don't need to be a coin expert. Here's what you can do right now. Check your quarters from the year 1992, especially ones with a D mint mark. Look for coins that seem shinier, lighter in color, or sound different when dropped on a table. Visit a certified coin dealer or mail the coin to PCGS or NGC for grading. Their evaluation could be the moment your life takes a radical turn. Would you ignore a lottery ticket just because it's old and dusty? No? Then don't ignore these coins. That even rarer version I mentioned? It's the 1992 P silver quarter, struck in Philadelphia with a similar error. Only 2 confirmed examples are known today. Value? Potentially over $1 million. Your legacy might not be found in stocks or real estate. It might be hiding in plain sight, in the palm of your hand. Don't wait. Subscribe for more real stories about hidden treasures. Drop a comment if you found something unusual in your collection, and share this video with someone who might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Your financial breakthrough could be just one coin away.